won't see it in this form on the marching field, but you'll see it in the form of bell front. So the bell facing the audience. That's mainly the big difference between anything classical and marching band. Okay, so I'm with a brass quintet. We're heading to a place to perform music, part of a brass sextet, and we're gonna go perform some music for I don't know who, I don't know where, and I don't really know why, but we're doing it, and that's all I know right now. So what was that for? What was that?
That was our average.
But what was going on?
I don't know. It's just old people that want to learn. I think it's UT informal classes.
That's really cool.
Are you asking me on camera?
So apparently there's some like informal classes that take place here, and older people come and can just take classes from people who teach at the university. So that's what we were playing for. I definitely dropped my GoPro.
Let's put some stuff up, Steve.
Yeah.
Yes. Clay coffee?
It's all very shocking.
Thank you. It is definitely marching band season. I've got a meeting tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, most likely Monday. But first, I have a meeting tonight. Is it kind of like we're taking off and then we fly? Or is like the triumphant, we're taking off? Does that make sense? Because using that sound system, I think it'd be really cool to use some string sounds. Especially at the beginning, get some tremolos. Did I say something? So that meeting went really well. I'm really excited for my next step of marching design. I've been writing drill and music and doing visual design for about 6 or 7 years now, and this is the first time that I'm going to be going full-time pretty much into it. So it's always been really tough designing because my summer has been filled with Ultimate Drill Book plus the design, and then the fall is filled with school. So one of the most important parts of the season is after the show is put on the field. Because after the show is on the field, you can start to look at what you have. You can look at the product, and then you can start to make tweaks and changes. So the part of the season where the molding happens is in the fall, and every year of my life that I've been designing, that happens during school. So there's so many other things that I have to do at that time on top of trying to help these marching bands fix their shows. But now that I'm going full-time into all of this stuff, design work and videos and things like that, I'll have a lot more time to devote to all of my bands. I do have some plans for this upcoming fall in terms of what I'll be doing and who I'll be doing it with. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but long story short, I have a lot more time to work with every single band. And that's affecting the process right now because some of these bands who are just kind of, they do general stuff, they're getting really excited and they want to do things that are kind of more out there or crazier or just more competitive in nature. And it's not about the competition for them, but it's about kind of pushing the boundaries of what they're used to and kind of creating a better show from the get-go. So I'm getting a lot more people involved in the design process. I'm building teams and I'm heading up all of these teams to create these shows for these different schools all around the country. And that's really what I've done with all of my like top tier bands, all the bands that are like kind of really serious about competitions. But now almost every band that I work with, even if they're not serious about competitions, they want that level of design, which is really exciting. So I'm building lots of teams of music writers, percussion writers, guard people, and anyone else who can design to help create these amazing, rich shows for these schools. So it's been a long time coming. I've definitely paid my dues, and I'm definitely not there. I'm definitely not even close to where I want to be, but I'm finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to how I want to do all of my design work. Okay, so here's the plan for tonight. A week or two ago, we created a list of must-have changes to the Ultimate Drillbook app. And these are things that are just non-negotiable that need to go in ASAP. So some of those things include members being able to edit their profile and their password and things like that, a new ordering system, and some tweaks and other little small features that are an absolute must to go out this summer. We're going to start attacking those tonight and get some mock-ups going and make sure that our app development team has everything that they need to move forward on this app so we can be ready to launch this summer. Okay, so I'm going to bring you in on the process tonight of what we're trying to do. First thing up, forget password. So there's two ways to do a forget password. One, you send the user a link so they can reset the password, or two, in the sign-up process, you have them create some security questions so they can then just go through the prompts and then create a new password that way. I think we're going to go with option number one, where we just send them a link to their email that they signed up with to create a new password, and I think we're going to do that for a couple of reasons. One, most of the people who are signing up are students, so the whole idea of the sign-up process, we want that to be as easy as possible, and we don't want to ask for anything weird. And number two, in most ways, it's just more secure. If someone wants to get into someone else's account, they have to know their email address, and then they have to know the password to get into their email to then get the reset password link and reset a password. There's a big potential that students could know some of their security question answers. So I think we're going to go with option number one. So all I have to do is create the mock-ups and the process for that to give to our developers. Okay, so the password is done. The next thing I'm going to work on is all of the alerts that could pop up throughout the app. This is like when you sign up and your email addresses don't match or your passwords don't match, or anything that pops up that's an error has to have a message that goes with it to let the user know what's wrong. Now, we already have these error messages, but we want to make sure all of the language and the vibe of all of them are the exact same. So I'm creating a document with all the potential errors and what they should say. Okay, I'm trekking through. I'm going to keep this list open of all of the different messages that could pop up, but I'm going to now start working on a confirmation page after the user signs up. This is just so they can see one final tally of everything that they've entered and see if everything's correct. That way they can easily go back and change something before they officially create their account. Checking in now, it's about 3:26 in the morning. Made some really good progress. Let me show you. This right here is the list of all of the things that we need to fix that are kind of like minor fixes or minor additions. Everything that I've highlighted in orange is stuff that we have given them. So we have a master sheet of fixes and changes that have links to different Google Docs and all sorts of notes that we're going to send the developers that they can use this as the master sheet for all the fixes that we need. As soon as things are done, they'll turn these to yes and green, and we'll know we can kind of forget about that stuff. The next thing I'm working on is a new order form. The whole ordering process for Ultimate Drillbook is really complicated because there's so many variables, so we have to make sure that we capture all of those variables in a quick and easy manner. So I found the new order form. Josh is working on an order form for the Ultimate Drillbook app, so we're just trying to clean up that entire process. So getting from just learning about Ultimate Drillbooks to having Ultimate Drillbooks is as easy as humanly possible. It's 4:02 in the morning, having a quick meeting with the app developers. I'm sharing everything that I've worked on tonight with them. It seems like everything's going to be okay, and we're just working on deadlines and pricing. Don't use that.